again, just in general, we know knee problems. One out of two people, 50% of people are going to develop knee arthritis in their lifetime, right? So the knees take a lot of the brunt of our forces of our body. And that's one of the reasons why we say the knee is the key, because we know that if we can stabilize the knee, that just about everything else up the chain, kind of coming back to Connor's issue, right? Everything up the chain was not in alignment. So when he landed, the knee can't absorb the force, right? So same thing happens if we malposition or misalign the knee, then everything else has to be off as well. So where this concept, we always like to go to the foot, but what we've really seen, and even in my research when I was at the University of Cincinnati, that as long as the knee stays stable, then the foot's not going to be able to tell the knee what to do. And it's actually kind of like what you were saying before. You almost want to go to, well, if the foot is flat or it goes into valgus, that automatically that's going to cause problems up the chain. But it's not necessarily true, because if the chain can organize itself above the knee relative to the base of support, the knee is still going to be able to transfer those forces.
Mhm.
And so this also comes back to, and where I was going, Mike Maddox and a lot of this development of leg strengthening apparatuses and machines and exercises and corrective exercises. If you really think about it, like, we have such a complexity and diverse array of attacking this problem of, I just want to have strong, healthy, functioning legs, right? If you go online right now, I would bet you close to 30% of the fitness videos out there, training or whatever, have something to do with how problematic it is trying to strengthen people's legs, because there's 10 ways to do it wrong, there's 10 ways to do it right,
Mhm.
there's 5 ways that don't transfer, there's 5 ways that do transfer. How are you going to start adding in plyometrics? How are you going to add programming? All these things that we get into. And we just kind of realized, again, with the ISO machines and the up squat, or the excuse me, uh, the ice machines and the supercat particularly, right? They were designed to try to allow you to work a specific functional pattern, versus looking at doing barbell lifting, as an example. And even Barney Fuller on the supercat, they realized that it didn't make as much sense to do jumping exercises with barbells or dumbbells in your hands. Let's make a machine that allows you to have better body mechanics and a better pattern ultimately. And so over time, Mike, and even with my input, we realized that it still doesn't necessarily integrate your mechanics the way that we want to see. So you're not having forces leaking into the knees or into the lower back particularly.